Good day. Welcome to another episode of In Your Face podcast with me, Polani Gaya. Today, I want us to touch on some topic. It's a topic that I feel most of us should at least have the knowledge about, even if one is not so much clued up on the topic, but just have kichonyana man. I want us to talk about African spirituality. I have a guest. She will introduce herself. Norma, let me rather introduce her. Her name is MAPITSO MOHAPI. Yeah, man. So I brought MAPITSO MOHAPI as somebody who can come on the show and speak on authority. She's a healer. Yeah. So I just thought it would be prudent. Yeah. So oh man, hey, it's a dodge. So I thought it would be prudent for us to bring somebody who is like an expert, like we always do. So I want us to cover a whole lot or other range of topics. I want us to talk about bongaka. I want us also to talk about what else do I want us to talk about? I want us to talk about cleansing or the importance of cleansing. I want us to understand, like I always say, In Your Face is here to educate people. We're here to inspire those conversations. So I perhaps there's somebody who's learned now recently about cleansing, but they don't know how or which is the correct way of doing it. I have to talk about soul ties as well. Yeah, man. Yeah. We have this thing of just doing things and being nonchalant about things, having multiple partners. Yeah, man. So basically, that's what I want us to talk about. I want MAPITSO to guide us. I want MAPITSO to yeah, man, just share with us. Welcome, Gogo.
Marcos.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Like I've said to like introducing today's episode, I want us to talk about Bo Nafan, Bo Marcos. Firstly, for those who do not know MAPITSO, I think it's tradition more this episode that we just give people a brief background about the guests that we bring on the show. Who is MAPITSO MOHAPI?
Emakhosini, Lesedi, Kamagwini, Thokozani. MAPITSO. Wow. MAPITSO ke cherry yako 5. Number 1. Grew up with number 5 ko kasi. A trained traditional healer or sangoma. Or Twastengo KZN.
Okay.
At a place called Caterich. Komagaeng a teng.
Okay.
Esigodini ekuthiwa kukaXimba.
Okay.
So my traditional healing practice, so to say, I mainly practice. My practice it's mainly influenced by where I got trained, meaning I was initiated under the Zulu culture.
Okay. Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so you can say ngingakayazi Zulu.
Okay.
Babamba kare ngingakayazi Zulu. For example, there are other people that I initiated under iphehlo lesixhosa then they say Ndiligqirha
Yeah.
lakwaXhosa, you understand? Yeah. So that's basically who and what I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying you can initiate KasiZulu,
No.
KasiXhosa as well.
No, I'm saying
Oh.
not as a Mosotho girl from Kasimo Kimberley, I got initiated in KZN.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I am regarded as Sangoma Yasizulu
KasiZulu. Oh, okay.
based on where I got my training.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Manafaife, now you're traditional. Okay, when did you come to realize that you have a gift? Or how did you come to realize that I have this gift?
Basically, I'm from a family that is deeply rooted in culture and traditions.
Okay.
My great grandmother's father was a traditional healer,
Okay.
and my great grandmother was a traditional healer too.
Okay.
So basically, most of their offsprings are people born with spiritual gifts. Most of them were not initiated, but they do have spiritual gifts. So if you are born from a family with traditional healing gifts, automatically you are also born with those gifts. You understand? So as time goes on, the other ones end up not taking it like seriously and so forth. But eventually, in generations that are coming, there needs to be, others who get to take off, continue from where the forefathers ended, and then just continue with what they were doing before.
Now, on what you just said, I want to understand this. What are the implications, if there are any, of me not taking it serious? I was born into a family that has this gift. With generations, I happen to be one of those who have the gift, but I choose not to, do I say, pursue it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What can come out of that?
Okay, let's start off by saying just because you are from a line of traditional healers, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be initiated.
Sure.
So basically, each and every one of us is gifted differently.
Sure.
There are ones who do go undergo training, and then there are ones that don't go undergo training.
Okay.
I usually tell people that symptoms or signs of having a spiritual gift may vary from one person to the other. It's like having flu symptoms. The other one is going to have mild headaches also,
Yeah.
and then the other person is going to have bodily aches, and then the other one is going to have a sore throat and stuff. So basically, our signs may vary from each person to the next. Other people have misfortunes in life.
Sure.
Other people get sick. The most common being mentally unstable. And now we have this thing of our people mainly going to modern doctors, and then they are being told about dementia, schizophrenia, and all those other mental illnesses, you understand. So it's I think there should be programs or awareness.
Sure.
Where people are being taught that sometimes these things are not only related to your mental health, but can also be related to your spiritual awakening. You understand? Because sometimes, as a spiritual gifted person, you see things, you hear things, you understand things that other people can't see or hear. And now you're going to be diagnosed as a mental patient, whereas when you're actually undergoing a spiritual awakening.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Um, I think on what you just said, there's something that I quickly wanted to ask you. I think now, locally, we've picked up or we've noticed that there is a rise in people coming out and saying, I have a gift, and is there perhaps or could there be, let me speak proper English, could there be a possible reason why in this day and age now we're having that? Because if one looks at when we grew up, the number of healers was not the same way as it is now. You would be now and then, man, find yourself bumping into somebody who has a gift. But now, we even see kids in schools. Yeah, man, could there possibly be a reason?
Can I say that the gift has always been there?
Okay.
But remember, we are from an era whereby we were suppressed
Sure.
to practicing our cultures and traditions freely. So,
Okay.
in the olden days, people were practicing. We were having those old ladies, bomme baba sebeletsi, whereby you can take your small child having those ailments sabana, and then with and do whatever, and then that you go for consultations and whatever, and then it came to a point where others were now being labeled got the dark side of things. Remember, we have healers from the dark side and we have healers from the side ya lesedi. You understand? And as much as we don't want to talk about it or believe it, it's there. It's something that's there, that's existing. So because of Khatelelo, we now ended up adopting the way of life of other people.
The Western.
Yes.
Sure.
Now we moved away from all those things.
Sure.
Now we've reached an era whereby kumele sishukumise amathamba amhlophe.
Sure.
You understand? Now amathamba amhlophe ayanyakaza, they want to be seen, they want to be felt, because they have been oppressed and suppressed for a very, very long time. And now the only way for them to come to life is through going through the young generation.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Because something, when you start, when you water it or when you plant it from scratch, when it grows, the fruits that are going to be born from that tree or whatever will now be spread, around, and now people would be able to see. But this is actually where and what we were supposed to be doing for all this time.
Now, there's something interesting that you mentioned, which is there are two sides. There's the dark side of it. There's the light. Now, could you kindly just distinguish for us what is the difference between the two? A lay person is sitting there. Lay person is watching. What is the difference between the two?
I regard myself as a light healer.
Okay.
Ke sebetsa ka lesedi, ke sebetsa ka kganya.
Okay.
I'm a bearer of light.
Sure.
And I have been called ho tlisa setjhaba sa ntate Modimo le sa badimo leseding.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
We take people from whatever dark forces that have been hovering over them to light.
Okay.
Now we are the type of people that you come to we consult re a phahla re bua le badimo hore okay bothata bo motho a tlileng ka bona it's this, and then we try to diagnose a person, and then we offer treatment.
Okay.
And then there are those people that will tlatla o bore ha ke rate Xolani,
Okay.
you know. I want to see Xolani suffer mo bophelong. Is there something that you can help me with so that I can block lesedi la ha Xolani? So you understand, those are the people who work with darkness.
Okay.
Yes. And sadly, most of those other people are the people that are like me. You understand? And in most occasions, you cannot differentiate because all of us, re tsamaya re tsentse masela a tshwanang, re tsentse difaga tse di tshwanang. You understand?
Okay. Now, how important is it? Ne? And I want to get your personal view on this. I'll tell you later. But how important is it for a healer, especially these young ones, to conduct themselves in a dignified and a respectful manner?
It's a bit difficult when I Xolani because I was trained by a very, very strict and old Zulu man who is deeply rooted in culture. So the way the things are being done, komagaeng, where I got initiated, and how things are done mo Kasi, you know, it's very, very much different. We are controlled by bojwala,
Sure.
you know. I see a lot of healers, everything that they do, it's being controlled by bojwala. You need to say, this is time for me to work, this is time for me to be able to focus, and all the other things re tla di bona after. Yes, we can say that our ancestors or sedimo sa rona se mang mang o na nwa jwala, mang o na tsuba kwae and whatnot, and di bewe at a certain point komsamo or wherever. But if something needs to be done, let's first focus on the work at hand, and all the other things we'll be able to do at a later stage. And I always say that where you got trained or where you initiated, the way you uphold yourself say a lot about who you are and where you're coming from. And it also gives people an insight of your background. You understand? Because we'd be able to see hore this person o tswa ko lelapeng le le jwang la bongaka, based on how they uphold themselves. We're not saying that it's wrong to do whatever, but you need to have a time where you don't mix bongaka, taba tsa bongaka and pleasure. You understand? You need to be able to have those boundaries in between. If it's time for you to be a healer, you do your healing work. If it's time to do your other things, personal life, you put aside. Because at the end of the day, we are all human, you know, and we can't say just because you are a healer, you're supposed to phela bophelo bo holo, because we were humans at the end of the day. And re na le also ditakatso tsa nama. You understand?
Now.
And we're not supposed to be re buswe ke ditakatso tsa senama.
let's. I think on this one, there's something else that I've had these experiences. Or go strating. Somebody comes to you. They probably start burping, and then say all these type of things that they see. Are those things? It's that how you guys are supposed to behave, or if I am here with you, and then is that the environment is seeming to do whatever that you need to do? Like you just said, you are here to bring Sidimu and together and bring light to Now, do you think it is appropriate for some people to do it at that particular, or it can be done at any space? Does not matter where.
We are messengers of spirit, number
Sure.
one. And as a messenger of spirit, spirit does not hide hope. If a message needs to be delivered, it needs to be delivered. But it should be delivered in a very discreet and respectful manner. You can't just approach a person and yeah, but you need to have a way to approach people. That's why it's very important as a healer or something of some sort to say o bue le lenyolo la gago manyelo ya gago re man guys nna nou yana I'm going out, I'm going to play with other kids ke kopa le saleng mo le dule le relaxitse, because then so that you must be able to be free. That's how you are able to separate MAPITSO le MAPITSO wa ngaka. You understand? Yes. There needs to be a balance somewhere in between. You understand? Also, me working with people, having a 8 to 4 job,
Sure.
where I interact with people on a daily basis. You understand? But I can still remain the same me to say I'm at work more. Ha ke mo ntombeng. You understand? So if and when that time comes and whatnot, you need to be able to restrain yourself in a certain way. You understand? And if spirit ehana that you need to go and tell that person, you try and find a suitable way to be able to approach the person. You understand? Because at the end of the day, our beliefs are different. You don't even know how the person is going to take whatever that you're going to tell the person at that point in time.
Sure.
Mawan?
Now, I want us to move. I want you to help me with this one again. You've mentioned a healer, which is Isangoma, and now there are both Mamosibili or ne?
Yeah.
Now, what is the difference between those, from you and those ones?
Okay. MAPITSO is a kisangoma. I have a prophetic gift.
Sure.
Le yabongak.
Okay.
So both of them have been joined together and they are working as one. Meaning, now I don't use the taula, I cannot taula.
Okay.
I pray wakapal with candles, mpepo or water, and then it flows.
Okay.
And then when I that are working as prophet or only church wise.
Okay.
But I can get a CEO, nearly apostle and whatnot, who only work with water.
Okay.
Yes, lady wash. Mixed wash, those powders and salts and whatnot. Understand? Yes. And then Rona on the other side, we use both, including herbs.
Okay. So that's the difference between.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if I asked this. Do you guys wear the same things, or perhaps there's something that they wear?
Spiritual garments. Each and every one of us, like the clothes that we buy in the shops, they are all the same.
Okay.
But most of us, we are shown which ones to get. You understand? Because of the spirits that we carry. Number one. Nago hai seboko sa go hai re bataung. So most of my clothes would have a lion.
Okay.
Meaning my spiritual strength is that of a lion, so to say. And then batho ba bangwe you get motho mongwe ke mokwena. And then the person's clothes would have that crocodile, meaning the person might also have water spirits, because we have a lot of other spirits. And then for people who have prophetic gifts also, ba para dispika, ba para dijasi and whatnot. So all those garments that they're being shown have different colors, and the colors symbolize or have different meanings, and based on the spirits that those people possess.
Okay. If I might just take you back, when you went to initiation, is there a prescribed time frame?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a standard time frame that one has to undergo?
Hey, well, when I come into that prescribed time frame thing, it doesn't really work for me.
Okay.
Because everything is led by spirit.
Okay.
Abantu abadala would say, now is the time uvuthiwe ungaphuma ephehlweni noma ungayenza whatever that is supposed to be done around that point in time. So now I believe that everything would be from guidance yabantu abadala.
Okay.
Yeah. Because sometimes I see that other people, umuntu would go ephehlweni and come back after 3 months, and then umuntu after 2 months, and. But nah, I underwent training for 4 years.
4 years.
Yes. I underwent training for 4 years. I stayed my first month. I stayed there for a full month. And I came back home because I'm working. So we had made an arrangement with my Gobela that I would go there every month. So I would usually take off days towards the end of the month or early in the month. So for all those 4 years, I was traveling in between. Sometimes I would take 2 weeks, stay there, do things that I was supposed to do, and come back home just like that. And even when I was home, there were things that I was prohibited to do. So I was in isolation. The only thing that I was allowed to do is go to work and come back home.
No, if you don't mind, are you able to tell us what were those things that you were not supposed to do?
Number one, Itwasa is not supposed to be intimate.
Sure.
Awujoli, awulali, nothing. Itwasa sits on the floor. So I was sitting on the floor, but because of work, where I'm working, ngacelelwa ukuthi ngikwazi ukuhlala phezulu on a chair.
I wanted to ask at work were you also sitting on
No,
the floor?
I was sitting on a chair because I'm at work. I was sleeping on the floor at home. I would wake up at 3 and do my prayers, kipahle, do whatever, everything that I was supposed to do whilst I was at home. And also, there are other food stuff that the person is prohibited from eating. And one is also supposed to use enamel utensils when you eat. So all those other things that all the rules that I was given, I had to abide to whilst I was at home.
Okay. Now, if it's not too much to ask, if I'm not stretching it, what was the significance? Was there any reason why you were expected to sit on the ground, sleep on the ground? What purpose does it serve, perhaps?
Remember, when we talk about amadlozi or ancestors, we refer to them as abaphansi.
Yes.
So because sikhuluma ngabantu abaphansi,
Sure.
we need to do everything yabo phansi. You understand?
Okay.
Which also helps in grounding. You connect
Connecting.
with them
Sure.
when you do things. from there. That's why even when you phahla, when you pray, you need to be on your knees. You need to go down.
Can I just ask a question out of curiosity? I I had a call the other day with my sister and we were talking about this. Yes, and the person is going to see this day. Um, who would? And my sister was saying that she literally, whenever she gets home, I was going to kill me for this. She would take off her shoes
Shoes.
and then literally go and walk. She prefers walking
Bare
barefoot.
feet.
Yeah. Could it possibly be that?
Una something.
Yes.
Possibly.
Okay.
You know what? I always say, a person with a spiritual gift, the signs are always there, but we choose to ignore. Because everything that we do, it's out of the normal. That's why I always say that we are abnormally normal. We don't do the things that normal people would do. You understand? Even our sleeping patterns. You can sleep, but around a certain time of the night, you're gonna wake up. There are those specific times where it just happens. It doesn't matter where you are, but coming, if that time comes, if it's around that time, you just automatically just you get awake, you know. Yeah. Also, ho na le o itlhele motho a dutse a ba re, I can smell snuff. Ow. When I smell a snuff and runa we can't, or kiki, I can smell umqombothi. How kanjani? You know, the signs are always going to be there. You can never also be attracted to something that you're not.
Okay. Okay. Let's go back to some of the things that you said you were prohibited from doing. Né? You mentioned that you're not supposed to be intimate. Now, what's wrong with intimacy?
Um, there's nothing wrong with intimacy, but
Or what
because
was wrong during
that
yes.
time, it's a time where you're supposed to be in you are in an era of purity,
Okay.
so you won't be able to connect to your higher or pure self, and also those your ancestral spirits that are pure. When you being into, or if you can get intimate, it's easier for you to attract spiritual what amadlozi that are not cleansed. Remember, there are people by Lunghore, they left this earth with whatever things that they were doing. We're all working on this earth, but we're not perfect. You understand? And there were people who were rapists. There were people that were killers. Babambana ba lawyer, abanye bebatwele, you understand? Now, when you are in that form of impurity, it means that it's easier for you to attract all those people, you understand? And now when I at that point of uktwasa, you are also at a point of trying to rectify the other mistakes of those other ones that came before you. You understand? Because some of the things, if not properly cleared, they can cause a lot of havoc in your life. It's what mainly we call babambare. They can cause a dark cloud or umkoka.
When they are not properly cleared.
Cleared, yes.
Now, I think just on that one, how important is cleansing in one's life?
Cleansing, it should actually be a way of life for everyone. Number one, we work around and interact with people whose auras are not so positive. Let me rather speak about auras. Negative auras. You understand? Let's say I'm attending a funeral, for example. Now I say healer now.
Yeah.
Ne? I'm going to say it from a healer's perspective. But Lewena, as a person, I think you will also be able to relate. You attend a funeral. If you attend a funeral, we usually say kwa lapeng la philo ba mo sefifing. They are in mourning. So when you go enter the yard or the house, or even on the day of the funeral, you go to the graveyard and whatnot. Ke ko batho ba robetseng ke re. So when you come back from there, you o tla o apere di auras, like those energies of sififinyana seo and whatnot. You understand? Now for other people, after having attended funerals, you get motokete melwamu imela, you get heavy shoulders, you get those slight headaches, like those moments where you don't feel like yourself, ne? Because there's some energy that you have attracted. Now you need to cleanse off that energy so that you can go back to being yourself.
On the issue of, I will come back to this one. I remember when we grew up, whenever bagolo ba tswa funeral, when they come back, tla be re iwa gore no, you must o tshele metsi, o tshele is it alu? Yes, and then what was this? What was that for?
It's
that
part
purpose?
of cleansing those energies.
Now, this is the other thing as well. We we would come back to the house. There would be those buckets that have water, and now mostly young people do not see the importance of going and washing their hands. Now, what advice would you give just these young people to say, but it's important for you to do that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Rona, we are this generation that we want to question a lot of things.
Sure.
And we are saying that, but why am I supposed to do this? Why, what? Like, you always have something to say. But Rona, the time we were growing up, we didn't have to question whatever our elders were asking us to do or telling us to do. So it's very important to do those things, because at the end of the day it's going to be good for you. Now if you didn't wash your hands go pitong with that water infused with aloe and whatnot, it means that you are taking sisififisele se tsamasama le wena.
Now back to cleansing.
Yes.
How frequent or often should one engage in that?
I believe every person can feel if their body is not bothering. If your body is weak, you'll feel it, and that's where you need to cleanse. We're now talking about those intense cleansings, because cleansings are different. We have cleansings that we can do, dibata, as healers, and there are other cleansings that we do for certain things or different reasons, so to say. But when yourself as a person, there are things that you can also use to cleanse yourself of, because we pick up energies everywhere we go. So I think it's best that a person cleanses weekly.
Now, what products can one use to cleanse? We say at home, like you just said, weekly for one to do that. What is it that you can do to cleanse?
Um, Rough salt is one of the most powerful products that you can use to cleanse yourself of. You just add into your bathing water and then it removes all those energies. Elu is also good. You can also use it at home to do your cleansings, maybe fortnightly or so. Now myself, I also have mixtures that I have and produce and sell for self-cleansings, that you can use either maybe on a daily basis or whatever.
But anyway, let's on your products now. The price di tsamaya. Tell us, what do you have? What do you have? How much is it? Let's.
I have packages. I have soaps. I have powders. I have bath salts. I have herbs. They are combos. I usually sell combos.
Okay.
Yeah, so they range from 250 to 350.
Now, if one wants to support or wants to order your stuff, how do we contact you?
My phone numbers. They can call me or text me, and yeah, then they can order.
Okay. Now let's go back to something else that I want us to talk about. Let's talk about. You say soul ties.
Soul ties, yeah.
What is soul ties?
Soul ties, number one. It's how people are tied together, mainly through sexual intercourse. Ne? I get it, when you are intimate, you sweat and mifufutso ya lona ya kopana mole and whatnot, and your fluids, yes. That's how soul ties come about. Yes.
Now, is there anything negative about soul ties?
It depends.
Okay.
Not according to myself, I think there are two sides, a negative and a positive.
Okay.
Remember, there are people by long hore you are connected to them. Let's say you just recently started dating a person and you then start being intimate, and then all of a sudden, let's say you're a businessman. As a businessman, you have this lady that you've just recently connected with, and everything was going well, business was blooming, money was coming in, and all of a sudden everything just goes down. Now you go to a healer, you go to consult. Now you are being told the problem is that person that you're sleeping with. But how? Understand? Only to find out that no, man, that person has been sleeping with multiple people before. So, o carry these souls tsa batho ba bang ba bangata. Mole you hear, but this person was probably raped.
Okay.
Now that energy ya batho bao, it's still within her.
Okay.
Now you find that the same person had miscarried before, was pregnant and miscarried before, but now the person didn't get cleansed. You understand? And rona as women, matla rona mo popelong. So everything ikena mo rona and it stays. Now you hear, but this person had an abortion and the person didn't go cleanse after the abortion. So when you go and have and be intimate with a person, olong hore, onale, like let's say senyama seo. So being intimate with that person, it means that now that whole energy is going to be transferred to you. So now it kind of blocks you. Oh, I understand. Now with other people, we tell hore, but this person was struggling. Now all of a sudden, o kopane sa mo le motho o itseng. Ha motho sentse a kopane le motho ha di mane dilo tsa ge di a bulega o kry-a spane, business is blooming and you understand. So each and everything has a positive and a negative side. We can't always say, no, it's negative, no, it's bad, no. Not everything is bad at all. There's always two sides, a negative and a positive side to everything.
Okay. But I think in essence you've answered, but I just want us to simplify it. Is there anything wrong with sleeping around with different men?
It does. Not only men, le basadi.
Yeah, sure.
Le basadi. Let's say you're a guy and then oya ko mme ba le ba business. Ne? You understand? As a businesswoman, there should be something that the person is using to attract customers. You understand? So the thing is good for the person, but it's going to be bad for the other one. You understand? Now you also have your partner. Kotlung. Now you go back to your partner. You came with that you took from that person. Your partner. Wait, understand? Yes. Guys, also, we have this thing, we want money, we want you want to be tops and whatnot. So there are other things that you would go and do to be able to attract fortune, so to say. Obviously, it's going to be your little secret. You understand? But they are known the same things where they can also be bad for the person that you're going to be intimate with. Like Uktwala vibes. Yeah.
If on that issue of Ukudwala, not sure if you can go to it. What's wrong with Ukudwala? If it's me, Tolani, hey, I'm struggling, things are not sharp, and I decide, no, man, I can't. I want to do right by my kids, by my family, and I decide, no, I want to go that way. Is there anything wrong with that?
Ugutwala, it's a very sensitive topic, Ngoba, because it has actually finished a lot of families. Mostly start off by going to the healer, doing whatever rituals, and. Baba, you see a person now, what have dulanta have dira miracle, mole. But at a certain point now, isilwane that he has acquired will start wanting a human sacrifice or human blood. You understand? So now the family is the one that's going to suffer at the end of the day. Ba bangwe, they even reach a point where now they can't take it anymore, and then they become the sacrifice. And as soon as they become the sacrifice, as soon as they die, then the rituals also vanish just like that with most people.
Is it possible for one perhaps to pick up or to see signs of somebody in Mhlawumbe or Twele? Are there those common signs nje that one can say, this one or this family? No, we have to educate the nation.
Yes,
We have to educate the
for a
nation.
spiritually gifted person, yes. Mariano, you need to understand that also sometimes these things, you understand? Sometimes it's about who and you're just like, okay, so this is it, this is what's happening. And not only in families, but a lot of guys, um abatwele, they use girls, young girls, and they give them money. Now they are being blinded by the love of money and luxury. Because yani you're being given money, you know, you're being they buy you those expensive booze, you know, whatever, you go where and where and where and where and where and where and where. Mara wena, as a person, personally, there is nothing that you can gain yourself outside of your
That person.
your connection with the motho o wa teng, you know. So it's like you're going to be dependent on the person, and now whatever that he has, it means it's feeding from your energy. Babon. So it's like it's a reciprocation. When you don't realize that you're actually being reimbursed for intlantla yakho that's being taken away from you at that point in time. When you just think, hey, nna ke a ratiwa, hey, shame, nna ke na le lekgotsomela. Yo, go monate. Right, man?
Coconut, there's another thing that I want us to talk about, which is in the workplace. How does one protect yourself in the workplace from all these bad energies?
Hi, Shem. Shem. No, ngwana ko gae, go ikrela diwasho, o ikrela, o ya go to a healer, go get those herbs, futa, phalaza, geza, ziqinise, like do whatever that you're supposed to do because wow, ziyabui.
Sibuye kanjani Coco?
No, we know it's no secret that there is a lot of animosity amongst colleagues. You can sit and talk and chat and love with a person, can't the same person that you're talking to doesn't like you. A lot of pretense happens in those offices. You understand? So when as a person, you need to have into yakho yokuviga. You need to protect yourself.
Coco, in closing, there's something else that I want to touch on. I'm not sure if, but I think you can guide us. How important is it for us fathers and especially us young people to ensure that we perform in Belego for our kids?
Okay. Not from different cultures, ne? KwaXhosa imbeleko it's very important. More especially coming to the boy child, if I'm not mistaken, because you won't even be able to transition into the era of manhood whereby you have not done imbeleko. Imbeleko is very important because it's how you get connected to your roots. You are being connected to Iznyanya za Kuni from your father's side. It's how you will be able to know who you are and where you're coming from. It's your root.
Okay.
Basically, I can say it's, yeah, Imbeleko, it's your roots. It's how or where you start to connect to your ancestors.
Now, in closing this interview, there are parents whom their kids have these or are displaying these different type of signs, so they have gifts. What advice would you give to those parents?
Do your research, get a trusted, qualified traditional healer or prophet who will be able to guide you. Also, having a spiritual, like I mentioned before, having a all those signs doesn't mean that you're supposed to go into aso. There are other rituals that can be performed for you to just acknowledge ingulo, that ungumntwana wengulo, not that kumele uhambe uyothwasa, you understand. Perform those rituals and then you'll be fine. When you are just going to be a messenger of spirit, so to say. You understand? There are those people that are only dreamers.
Okay.
Yeah, you get your messages through dreams, and then you go tell Kolani, I had a dream about you. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when I want you need to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You understand? There are those types of people. You understand? Not all of us need to undergo initiation. And school kids, sometimes it becomes a problem for them to be able to prosper, or so to say, come into their education. Rituals can be done, you know. Umntana uyaxelelwa, uyaxelelwa, wakopelwa. Yeah, wakopelwa, so that the child can be able to finish school and then at a later stage now go and do whatever that the child is supposed to do. Sometimes madlozi amambastabone, and then a child at a very young age should undergo into aso, but it's worth trying. You understand? Because it's really not such a good side of a small child having to undergo such a huge take on such a huge responsibility of becoming a traditional healer. You understand? Because also at the end of the day, now at some point the child undergoes training, but when they come back, they can't practice. Babam Barabana, they should not practice because they are still young. You understand? How are you going to be able to do all those rituals and do your healing work and possibly heal older people? Baba, they might even take advantage of you, because at the end of the day, when you go into your ndomba consultation room or surgery, you are alone with your patients and whatnot. Understand? So we also, now I'm thinking about safety reasons and all those other things for a young child. You know, so I think parents should just try and get or gather enough information as to what other channels can be tried or explored, so that their children can continue with school up until that point when they now need to head everything.
Okay. Now, in closing, finally, Gogo, you said you are here to connect the different sides.
Yeah.
In closing, what would you like to say to our society or our community? There's the camera. Speak to the camera. What is it that you would like to say?
What I would like to see is dingaka di kopane, le ba profita, ba kgona ho thusana, working as one. Because at the end of the day, we don't know everything. You know, what I know, the other person doesn't know. And what the other person knows, I don't know. So if we can just work hand in hand with each other and say, nah, I am good in doing this. And if maybe at a certain point I have a patient that I can't help and say, but nah, I can't help you, but I know a certain healer who's good in handling certain situations, then I can refer the person there. I think that would be a very, very good thing, so to say.
No, Gogo, thank you very much. It is very insightful. Yeah, man. So I think our viewers will also learn a thing or two. Yeah, they'll also feel the same way that I feel, that it was very informative, very insightful. So thank you very much, Gogo.
Thank you.
There was another episode of In Your Face podcast with me, Xolani Gaya. Thank you once again for watching. Thank you for supporting. Please do not forget to like, share, and also subscribe. Join also. Ne? You just go there, Khwati, you will see there's a button that says join, and then you go and subscribe membership. It's there. So thank you guys. This was another episode of In Your Face podcast. Sure.